Can you tell us what were some of the main things you wanted the students to get from this lesson?
Well, I wanted them to know that, number one, that you can do anything you want to do in this world. If we, as children who grew up with no electricity or plumbing and achieved what we have achieved in our lifetime, they can do it. Excellent. And we are role models for them, I hope.
Excellent. Now, the stories that you told, because you and your sister worked together so well, are these stories that you made up and you just put them together here, or are these real stories that you experienced?
They're all real stories. We actually lived them. And we understood at the time when we were really small that we had everything. But then peer pressure, when we got a little older, took it away from us. And that's another thing I wanted the children to know, is that, you know, you have to be really careful what you say to others. And you could lose your personality. You could lose your whole childhood in just one sentence. Well, I'm coming from the heart.
Okay.
I'm telling real stories, and since I actually live them, then the stories mean something to me. And when they mean something to you, you usually are a little more emotional. And I guess I'm just natural. I listened to the stories Grandpa told me as a child, and I stored them away, so I must have that inside of me.
Now, also, the different instruments and the things that you had the students use, these are things that you actually used growing up?
Some of them are. But we've worn some of them out. And we had to replace them. And we go to flea markets and we get old pots and pans and bring them in. But some of the things were my grandmother's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I know that's special. Yeah. How many books do you have out? Can you tell us a little bit about that? And what school did you go to?
Well, I have 6 books. Okay. And I went to Purdue University for 8 years, just for creative writing. Okay. That's all I went for. And now I teach creative writing.
Excellent.
And my professor told me, he said, after all these years, you have to promise me that you're going to pass this on. Everything that you've learned, pass it on. And that's what I'm doing, trying to pass it on to others.
What's it like working with the students and getting them engaged and getting them up to move and dance and that sort of thing?
Well, that's a little hard to explain because, they feel your heart with their eyes.
Okay.
I mean, especially when I do that last poem, I Ain't Nobody. I mean, they get really quiet.
Yes, they do.
Uh-huh.
And you made that's really something you made up in school?
That actually happened to me, and that's the main reason that I wanted to come back and work with the children, is to share that with them, that, you can, if people make you feel bad, if you have peer pressure in school, all you have to do is rise above it. Right. Once you rise above it, you can do anything.
Excellent. Listen, thank you so much, and I appreciate it.
And that scene from the 8th grade came pouring back into my head. And I could see all those children laughing at me, calling me nobody, calling me a no-account mountain kid, telling me that my family were no good. My hand went to writing all by itself. And this is the poem that came out. I ain't nobody. I heard one day. Hiding behind the door, I heard him say, she ain't nobody, she don't work a lick. She comes from poor folks back on the creek. Her pa makes liquor. Her ma dips snuff. Her kin folks bicker. Just trash. Sure enough. So they threw me in a jar, I wasn't but a kid. They threw me in there and then closed the lid. And now, I've got a label, this poor mountain kid. They branded me nobody. That's what they did. I ain't nobody. But something wonderful happened when I wrote that. It wasn't inside anymore. It was on that piece of paper. I could do something about it. I got another sheet of paper, slapped it down there, got myself that pencil, and I went to writing again. I ain't nobody I heard him say, why am I letting them treat me this way? Why was I there behind the door? Let me tell him, give me the floor. It was my kin, Bible in hand, who fought and farmed and settled this land. And my pa and ma through their seed gave me along and only books can feed. They gave me wealth that money can't buy. A pride in family and a spirit in the eye. And what Grandpa had, he gave to me. It's in my heart for the world to see. My people are strong. They made me free. They fought and won. But now, it's up to me. I am somebody. Y'all say that with me. I am somebody.
Now, I understand talking with your sister, she said you guys have been doing this for 20 some odd years. All right, so you're saying that you're the left part of the brain and she's the right part, or you're the right and she's the left?
I'm the right side and she's the left side.
Okay. And she's laughing. Okay. All right, in terms of what are some of the things you want your students to get out of this?
Well, just to realize how creative that they are, because I didn't realize, I just did it, and so we're setting an example, I think, for the young people to see, well, yes, I can do this too.
So you really started by drawing in the dirt or drawing in the sand? I mean,
yes, I did.
That's a true story?
That's a true story.
Okay.
All of our stories are true. Now, Amy does say we don't let the truth get in the way of a good story sometimes, but all of the stories are based on the truth.
Okay, excellent. And then so from there, you were saying that you received a master's degree and you worked for Disney. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. I went to school on my own. And after my sons were in school, I had two little boys. And so I went to school too and got my master's degree in biomedical illustration. And this was out in California.
Okay.
So no one ever told me I couldn't do it, so I just figured I could. So that's bottom line.
Excellent.
And when I was a senior, or actually when I was doing my master's project, I sent my resume out to many different people. And being that I was so specialized in biomedical, I got jobs right away. And one of them happened to be storyboarding for films.
Right, okay.
And so I did some Disney films and other films as well.
Okay,
so
that's excellent.
So I was drawing the inside of the body, and I had to learn all of that when I was in school. So
excellent.
Growing
up, did you know that this is what was going to happen to you, or what?
Had no idea, not one idea, but I just knew that I wanted to be an artist.
Okay, so when did you know that you were good? When did you know that you really had the talent?
Well, I'm still working on that.
No.
That's what an artist is, is always improving, always improving. And now, in this year in my life, I'm finally getting to where I'm doing large murals for public places.
Okay.
And that to me is, yes, I've gotten somewhere.
So what happened? What got you and your sister together? I mean, how did you guys even get together to do what you do?
Well, we've always been very, very close, and we shared each other's dreams many times. And we found out that we both wanted to do the same thing, and that was to come back and share with young people what our story was, that we were poor, but yet we found out that we could do it, and they could too.
And basically your purpose is to bring out the Appalachian life as well as to let people experience that somewhat?
Yeah, the purpose is really our mission with Catch the Spirit of Appalachia, is to let people know that those stereotypes are not true.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
That we are very talented, creative people, and sometimes much more so than you can find anywhere.
Right.
Absolutely.
I understand.
All those talented musicians and artists coming out of that area, it's just remarkable.
Excellent. Well, listen, I enjoyed this as always. I'm going to let you guys go, and thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.